big winger coming down the right side, stepping over center, and the long shot in on the Rochester goal. That's turned to the corner. Hustling in after it is Wilson. Wilson comes up, feeding McPhee in the shot slot, and a save is made, and it's turned aside again. McPhee on it in the corner. Looking back to Robinson. Robinson with a big slap shot and a glove save, and he'll hang on as the V's pressing here. 2-2 the score here in the second.
Pat Conley used to call this the old lady of Windsor Street, the grand old lady of Windsor Street. And I guess I fell in love with the grand old lady. Simple as that. My name is George Finley, and I'm chairman of the board of the Halifax Forum Community Association. I've been chairman for 23 years, a little long in the tooth, I suppose, but nevertheless, that's the fact. It's probably really the first day I came in here and became a rink rat when I was 12. In those days, they had long brooms. I guess they were about probably 12, 15 feet long, with willow branches wired onto the end of them. And they used to just, 3 guys would get out there at the end of the rink after each period, and they'd start swinging those brooms and sweeping the snow to the center of the ice. And I was one of the kids that used to push the snow plows down the center, and we'd go to that end of the rink in the corner, what we called the pit. That was a big hole full of water, and we used to shovel the snow in there, and it would disappear in the water. Great wrestling, all the top wrestlers, boxers, musicians. The top shows, Guy Lombardo and Hank Snow, Wolf Carter, you name it. They all played at the Forum because the Metro Center didn't exist in those days, so this was the show place.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how to skate here in the Forum. Before, when there were other buildings here, the Atlantic Winter Fair used to be here for a long time, and so that was always a favorite, was coming to the Atlantic Winter Fair and seeing that. And then both my girls played hockey, and we spent many early hours in the morning here at hockey practices or games.
The first time I arrived in the Halifax Forum, I was a player at that point. I was playing university hockey with the Mount Allison Mounties, and we're playing the Dow Tigers. The Tigers had moved out of there, well, their rink had burnt down, so they had to make the move over here. So it was my first time into the grand old lady, and I don't think the score is what we wanted that night.
The Sydney Millionaires played, it was during the war, whether it was the Air Force or the Navy. It was in the final game, and people were up in those rafters. They were everywhere. There was about 7,500 people here, and our capacity is 5,200, so go figure.
So often I'm thankful we have these on, because it does get loud, and there's, again, where you've got almost 5,000 in here and you're crushed in tightly together, and there is that big moment. This building holds the noise pretty well, and it's deafening. It's deafening in that sense, and I guess the moments when the crowd's that loud and the moment's that big, it's almost as if time stands still.
That's the track. These are the horse barns. That's the industrial building out by the Alma Street gate. That's the grandstand with the exhibit buildings underneath. And of course, this is the forum. This is the 80s, and we sort of call those the dark days of the forum, much like this year or last year when the then mayor and city manager wanted to close the forum down, and of course I wasn't there then, but they fought against it, and the forum's still here. But that was a headline in the daily newspaper, Axe the Forum in the library.
Well, I understand that many feel that it would be progress to knock down the forum, and I don't know all the issues. Certainly, I think it would be a sad day. I'm not sure what would replace the forum. And for the time being, this perhaps serves its purpose. And there's a lot of hockey that goes on in here, joined by the Civic next door. So, but I'm not going to stand in the way of progress. If indeed this forum has to come down, and there's enough money in a budget to build perhaps a bigger and better rink, then so be it. But when this rink does come down, all the great memories from here will be gone. The forum has its wrinkles. It has a couple of cracks here and there, but again, I think it's a good place. I think with the history it has, that fans continue to enjoy coming to this game. And yes, the concessions aren't as easy to get to, and the seats aren't as comfortable, and the aisles aren't as wide. But again, knowing that they can come here with a near full house, I think they still enjoy coming to the forum.
We had engineering studies, architectural studies done. This building is great for another 25 years at least. And yet staff, went against all the they hired their own engineers and went against their advice. So, go figure. That was very, very frustrating for me.
The Forum Board organized a community meeting when the closure was coming forward for people from wherever they were to come and just speak and comment about the forum. And it was kind of amazing. It was amazing to sit in the forum itself, to see all the people that turned up, on a gorgeous summer evening. They came out. The stories of what people were talking about what the importance of the forum meant to them and what they hoped it could be or would be in the future.
I'm a volunteer. I'm not paid like the people at City Hall are. And, our board had to put in an awful lot of time lobbying to make sure that this building stayed here. And it did with council's consent. I love this building, and I'll be here till I kick off, I guess.